Okay, test it. All right, we are good. What is up, everyone, and welcome to the Random Encounter Podcast, episode 123. I'm your host, James, and I'm joined by Ash Destroy 'em,
Yo, what's up, guys?
Phaneckswhy,
What's up? What's up?
and Bryant.
Live from the Forbidden Lands.
Where's my camera? Whatever. It is what it is. Anyways, we got not a lot to talk about today because a lot of disappointing happened this week, specifically at the Pokemon Presents. I'm like half and half on that, and we'll discuss that a little bit later. But something did get announced late last night. Found out about it this morning. It's something I'm super hyped about, and we're gonna discuss that. Probably I put it under small news, but I think we're gonna go a little bit in depth with that because I got a lot of things to say when it comes to that. But as always, before we begin, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Follow over on Twitch. We are not on TikTok today because Stream Elements just went crazy, which is also why we're starting, almost at half an hour later than usual. Not exactly sure what's going on. Stream Elements seems to be down, and I was not able to go live using Stream Elements, so I had to revert back to Atom to go ahead and do the multi-streaming. But we are live on Twitch, YouTube, and YouTube Vertical. So yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with what we've been playing. And I'm actually going to start this one off. I never started off, and I feel like cheating today. I'm going to start it off because I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! The early collection, or what I like to call it, the old man collection, because this consists of games from Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. And honestly, I've been hooked. I've been playing this nonstop. It's a nice collection of games. What a lot of people don't realize is before the actual card game release, there was a manga of Yu-Gi-Oh! So when you go ahead and watch the actual anime, and it does the first arc, which is the what is it called? I can't believe I forget what the name of the arc is. Because Battle City is the second arc. The first arc is something Island. I don't know why I can't remember. Anyways, where you have to fight
crap.
Pegasus.
Yeah,
or where they
Pegasus
fight
and
Pegasus.
everything.
Yeah, I forgot what the name
What was
of
it
it is.
called?
The
But
Dual Island?
anyways, what is it?
Is it Dual Island? I mean, that would make sense if it's called Dual Island.
Maybe that's what it was called. I don't remember. But anyways, you'll notice that in that arc, the rules don't really apply. They're kind of just doing anything to get through, and that's because the card game didn't really exist at the time. There wasn't the actual card rules that we have today. In Battle City, that's when the card game was already available, so they tweaked the anime to now mirror the card game and have the same type of rules as the card game, minus Yuki cheating by always getting the right card at the right time. But he's a protagonist, right? And the Game Boy Color, or the first Game Boy game, was kind of the same thing. It had its own rule set, which was totally different from any of the Yu-Gi-Oh card game or the official Yu-Gi-Oh card game, where they have like weaknesses, almost like Pokemon, where elements are weak to each other. So you can beat another card if you have higher attack points, or you have higher attack points compared to their attack or their defense points. But if you had a card that was the like opposite element, or the element that is strong against the other card, then they automatically lose. If you ever play Yu-Gi-Oh! The Sacred Cards, which is what I'm playing, that's a GBA game. They reverted back to kind of that format, and it's pretty neat. It's played like Yu-Gi-Oh! So you got attack card, you got your monster cards, you got magic cards, trap cards, and all that other stuff. But it has also that, like, I don't want to say rock paper scissors element, but I guess you could call it rock paper scissors, where like thunder beats water, and water beats fire, and fire beats like forest, and so forth. So they have that element, and it's pretty fun because you can have a good card set with like strong attack cards. But if you go ahead and let's say you have a whole water deck, and a dude has a weak thunder card, that thunder card is gonna whoop you no matter what. It's an instant kill. But anyways, there's a lot of fun games there. There are also games there that mirror the actual rules, which is nice because it goes back to when the rules were a lot simpler. There weren't crazy cards that have all these crazy effects that do all these crazy chain moves. That's another thing I do like. It just brings you back to a simpler time. But overall, I'm happy with the collection. I think they did a pretty good job. I hope it sells well because I think the most unique Yu-Gi-Oh games are the console games, where outside of the Xbox game, which was basically a Yu-Gi-Oh simulator, The other ones are different. My favorite Yu-Gi-Oh game is Falsebound Kingdom, which is an RTS game, or RTS slash turn-based game. And the way that works is you're on a map, you move your monsters, so you control up to 3 monsters, and you kind of like find and recruit monsters on the map, or if you beat certain characters, they'll give you their monsters, and so forth. And when you're on the map, you move your monsters, you direct them different areas, but you're controlling characters from the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, and each of them are like commanders, and they each have 3 monsters, which is kind of cool. When 2 commanders engage, then you have a 3-on-3 fight, and it's turn based at that point, where you go ahead and attack. You have different moves, you have special abilities, you have items to recover your monsters and so forth. So it was a pretty cool game. It was different at the time. The only negative I have for that, if anybody ever tries to go ahead and play this game, is that it is very slow. Like the animation is ridiculously slow. I would recommend just shutting off. I don't know if you can. I think you can, but if you can shut off the battle animation, shut it off, because it takes forever for the battle animation to go through, and that is the biggest turnoff in that game. Is the battle animation sucks. But other than that, the game is
Weren't
fun.
you
Like
streaming this?
that one, I don't think I streamed that. I had it.
I thought you streamed something Yu-Gi-Oh on Friday.
I did. I was streaming the Sacred Cards. That's the
Okay.
GBA game. So that one's the one I was telling you has like the rock paper scissors elements. But the Falsebound Kingdom I have yet to stream. It has been in some of my videos. Fun fact, the videos that I have put that in, I do get comments asking what game is that, because people, see the turn-based RPG aspect and like, oh, what game is this? So that is Yu-Gi-Oh! Falsebound Kingdom. But yeah, I'm excited for this collection. I'm gonna continue playing it. I'm probably gonna play it tonight. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna play something else that we're gonna talk about later on tonight, because I made sure to get everything I needed ready to play that. But Van, let's go to you. What you been playing?
I've been playing. I whipped out my 3DS just because wanted to play some 3DS games, and I wasn't too thrilled with how Citra and Lime 3DS has been running with some of the other games, because not every 3DS game runs great with Citra or the emulator. So I've been playing Pokemon Y and Mario and Luigi. I think it's called Dreamline.
Dream
Is that what
Team?
it's called? Dream Team. Dream Team. Mario
Yeah.
and Luigi Dream Team.
I think that was Ash. I think Ash. Didn't you like that game?
Oh, Mario and Luigi Dream Team.
Yeah.
That's one of the few Mario and Luigi games I haven't played yet. Funny
Oh,
enough.
I thought
Yeah,
for some reason you'd
but
like that.
oh no, I would like it. I just never got the chance to play it, but I'm pretty sure that game is fairly good as well.
What else you been playing?
Yeah, that's all. That's all I've really been playing.
That's it.
Yeah, just trying to get back into Pokemon since the Pokemon Day,
Yeah.
thing came out.
Funny. My son today was looking for his 3DS because he wanted to play Pokemon X. Randomly, he's like, Dad, where's my 3DS? I want to play Pokemon X. I'm like, I don't know. Like, you gotta look for that. But yeah, I'm with you. I've been wanting to play classic Pokemon, but I've been stuck on this beauty. I forgot to show this off. It comes with a card that hasn't, according to this, hasn't been sold since it came out originally. It's a Harpy's a light, kind of like, can I block that? Like, I don't know if you can see it because of the lighting. The Harpy's
I can see
Feather
it.
Duster. It's a good card. Basically, it destroys all spell and trap cards. Very overpowered. Ash, what have you been playing?
Well, I got one of them on my Steam Deck right now. I got him back into Weather and Waves again. Jesus Christ, this NVIDIA Blur is a bane to my existence. But yeah, I've been playing Weather and Waves along with Tales of Vesperia on the Steam Deck, and been on and off with Sonic Mania because I know for a fact how fast I can just literally complete that game. And then like I also tried out the demo for Eternites. I can't pronounce his name right, but essentially this is an indie game that's heavily inspired off of Persona, and it takes like a bit of a different turn when it comes to the environment and combat as well. Yeah, you might have it kind of blew up for like a minute, and then like it kind of died down for a good while. And the deluxe edition is on sale for like $16 or something like that, so you can get the
Okay, I know what game that is. Yeah.
Yeah, so I decided to play the demo, and I didn't really realize that some of the actors that I know of are in this game. So for starters, if you guys know who Alejandro Saab is, he's mainly the new guy that's voicing as Akihiko from the new Persona 3 series. He's voicing as one of like the best buddy characters in Tournament Nights. I can't pronounce the name. And then there's also other characters that are also cool and funny as well. But the main premise here is that as the main character, you're doing a lot of like interactions with other female characters and stuff, and as you are boosting your charm and boosting up your friendship, you essentially unlock more abilities and stuff. And this is more like a action RPG oriented game and stuff. So demo's pretty short. I wound up liking it, bought the deluxe edition for it for 16 $16, and that was cool. And then randomly I bought this other one called Dusk. So and this is where this is where I wasn't familiar with some of the terminology people were using. I didn't they were calling this game a boomer shooter. And I'm like, oh, what's a boomer shooter? then I look at the extra trail. I'm like, oh, I mean, yeah, it looks like Quake / Doom, but I wouldn't call it a listen, I wasn't one who came up with that, brother. Like, come on. Boomer shooter? Seriously? But game's hella fun. So it's like it's a boomer shooter, but you're essentially you're like a human that's trapped into some sort of cult, and you gotta shoot yourself out of the area and everything. It's like has all the blood and gore and everything. It's like your good old 90s classic game like Quake or something like that, and you have a good time with it. It runs really well on the Steam Deck too. I think the whole overall theme is I'm just been playing everything on the Steam Deck and playing less on my PC because I just like the look of, hey, I get to play all these powerful games off of this low powered hardware compared to my $1,500 computer instead. So I mean, why not? But yeah, that's basically what I've been playing so far of it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It definitely has like Doom 64 or like Quake vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, but that boomer shooter stuff was new to me. I was like, what are they talking about?
Yeah, I've seen the tags that they put on here for on Steam. Yeah, boomer shooter's one of them.
I'm like,
That's
no
funny.
way. That's a terminology. That's insane. But okay.
Oh. All right, Brian, what have you been playing?
I have been playing Monster Hunter Wilds.
Funny
Can
enough.
we believe that? Can we believe that, everybody?
Wait.
Again, it just goes back to what I've maintained since day one with the infamous reaction during the Game Awards. I think of last year. That's I think where the moment happened. That I always respected Monster Hunter. I couldn't get into Monster Hunter Worlds. It just was too much for me, and I'm not the only person that I've heard that criticism about. It's just very daunting. It's very dense. And so I kind of just bounced off of it when I tried it. But with that being said, I still recognize that it's a technical marvel as far as like the combat system, how deep the systems are in it, and how popular it is, and the idea of it, and it just kind of made me yearn for the days of Phantasy Star Online, because that was probably the only, I don't even know if you'd call it like an MMORPG, but whatever you call Phantasy Star Online, that was like the only one that I could get into ever in my life where I was like addicted to it. And I've tried multiples. I've tried Final Fantasy 14. I've tried like World of Warcraft. I've tried other like Monster Hunter. I've tried a lot of different games that kind of have a format like that. I could never get into it. But so I bought Monster Hunter Wilds because I read it was kind of a good one for beginners. They do a lot of tutorializing, and it's just supposed to be easier on. And I guess a lot of people that are into Monster Hunter kind of are disappointed with the amount of hand holding it has compared to previous games. But it's like, I'm not the only one that said that the game is really hard to get into because of how technical it is. And so I was like, I bring it on. Like, I want to try this. So I was like, I got it for a really good discount on the Green Men Gaming or Fanatical or one of those places. And I got like the Ultimate Edition for like $80 when the MSRP is $120. So I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll buy it. And so I bought it and I've been playing it. It runs incredibly well on my PC with my 4090. I heard reports that apparently it's really buggy, but I haven't really run into anything except for very minor visual stuff here and there, but it's seriously not a big deal. I will say that upon playing it and getting into the first couple story missions, that I did get really frustrated because the combat's really clunky in that game, and I didn't realize it. It just feels very like
Oh.
movement in it feels like to me what movement felt like in Resident Evil 2 in 1998. It just feels like like it just feels very like you turn and then you hit and then you kind of turn again and you might hit the enemy and then you have to kind of lock onto it and then the lock gets lost and it just feels very strange. I don't know if I was expecting it to be like a Devil May Cry thing or not Devil May Cry, but I'm trying to think of what an equivalent would be. But I thought the combo would be a bit more fluid, and it's not. It's very deliberate. And so I played a little bit more today, and I beat a few optional missions. I think they're only bounties or something where you go out and kill a monster. And by the third one, I think I was starting to get it a little bit, but it still is a really dense game just between the armor upgrades you can do, the weapon upgrades, the palico upgrades, getting different stat boosting food and being able to summon people to your game and all the different ammo types and different main items you have. There's lots of systems upon systems upon systems in it that I can definitely see newcomers bouncing off of because I came a little close to bouncing off of it, but I think I'm starting to settle in a little bit. So I definitely suggest finding your friend that's a very knowledgeable Monster Hunter person if you want to get into it and give it a shot. Because I'm gonna go back to it, even though I'm probably considered pretty bad at the game. But maybe one day I'll get good and we'll see what happens. But so far, not bounced off yet. I'm into it more than I ever was Monster Hunter Worlds, and we'll see where we go from here.
Did you ever play Monster Hunter Rise?
No, I never did
No,
play
I
that.
I liked Rise a lot. Like you might like it more. I mean, I haven't played Wilds because the one time I wanted to test the beta, my PC couldn't handle it. Um, but
Hmm.
like the wire bug mechanic was, I think, the best thing ever because it made combat a lot more like fluid, like a lot quicker overall. And that's what made me enjoy it because there were so many things you can do. You can run on walls. You can scale up. You can get extra wire bugs to do like better combos. There was wire bug combos. There was a lot of things going on in Rise, and I wonder how good this will be because I know people like World because it's one like really big map, and then you go to another map and so forth. But Rise, I think, was just better, and the multiplayer was better than World for sure. Because Rise
Yeah, I
was
heard
old
that.
school. Yeah, Rise was very old school. It's like you pick your mission before you're in the hub city, and then everybody leaves together. Where World is like while you're in the map, you can go ahead and have people invited, and then and go through the story mission together, or go through like these quests together. In Rise, you couldn't. You had to before you left. You had to choose if you're gonna do a solo mission or you're gonna do a multiplayer mission, and then you had to have the people already there. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. You don't have to have them there already. Once you start a multiplayer mission, they can join after that. But you couldn't do both together, if that makes sense. Um,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Yeah, I haven't really played multiplayer, yeah, I think I will eventually.
mhm.
And then also one other thing I started playing is Gravity Rush 2 because I platinumed Gravity Rush finally, and
Nice.
I started Gravity Rush 2, and man, Gravity Rush 2 looks so good compared to Gravity Rush. Like Gravity Rush is fine. Like it's fine. It's a PS Vita game, so it's a nice remaster of a PS Vita game. But when I turned on Gravity Rush 2 and you just see the animations of the main character Cat and
Mhm.
how colorful the city is and how much more populated it is and all the
Yeah.
items flying all over the place and fruit and um, balconies with people on it and stuff. It's just a lot more detailed. So I'm very much enjoying that and the quality of life aspects that game
I,
brings. So I'm into that too.
I will tell you my only negative to
Uh
Gravity
oh,
Rush 2 is the main theme in Gravity Rush 1, like the main town. That theme is
it
just
was
so
really good.
beautiful. Yeah, and
Yeah,
Gravity Rush 2 unfortunately does not have a track that's as good as that. Because that
that
theme
track is
is,
really good.
yes, like, part of it again, it could be my nostalgia because me playing it on the Vita, and the situation I was in while playing it, like, tougher times, right? And that kind of like hits me harder. But when I hear that song, I don't know, it just makes it like, I don't know, it's just so good.
I
I
think
love it.
objectively it's really good. I mean, because I played it for the first time, 2 weeks ago, and I
Yeah.
recognized right away. I was like, wow, this just sounds like something out of a Ghibli movie,
Hmm.
or just sounds very whimsical and beautiful. It fits the mood of the game very well. Like the rest of the music in the towns, like they're good, they're
Yeah.
serviceable. But you're right, that first town that you're in the game, that song is just gorgeous, and it keeps
Yeah.
on loop. And I'm like, that's fine. It's really nice.
Yeah. Such a good game. Definitely play. I hope there was rumor that there was going to be PC ports sometime soon, and
Mm.
I hope, but I don't think those rumors are true because we haven't heard anything since. I would love for them to get ported to PC because I would buy them day one. They're really good games, and I would definitely buy them day
I'm
one.
so shocked at how good it is. Like, I always heard it was a good game. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play this. It'll be fun. It'll be a nice little thing to play on the side. But I got into it, and I'm like, this is just really solid. The movement is really original, and the combat is pretty good, and the story is just kind of different and cool, and it's very fresh in some ways, and it's definitely better than I thought it was gonna be.
It'd be a good like anime, honestly. Weren't they
Mhm.
working? Now that I think about it, weren't they working on an animated
Yeah,
movie? They announced that a long time ago, and we haven't
yeah.
seen
I don't
anything
know.
since.
I don't know if it's a movie or a series or if it's anime. I'm not sure what the media is of it, but yeah, they are
Yeah,
doing something extracurricular to Gravity Rush besides the games. I don't remember what specifically
yeah,
it is.
yeah. Because Gravity Rush, the setting remind me a lot, and I don't remember which one came first. I think Gravity Rush came first, but watching like Legend of Korra, like the beginning setting of like her being in the town and stuff for the first time, it reminds it has like Gravity Rush vibes, right? You know, they're different, yes, but I don't know. There's just something about it just reminded. It could be the setting too, like where the towns and the people and the dress up or the get up and everything kind of looks similar. But yeah, good game, good game. Love me some Gravity Rush.
I don't think Gravity or Rush 1 or 2 are going to get ported to PC, mainly due to the fact that Japan Studio is already gone. So
Yeah,
I'll be surprised if they still have the source code or something.
man, don't break my heart, man. Don't break my heart.
Hey,
They
listen.
gotta.
Hey, this is on Sony, man. That's all I'm saying.
What
Ash is
they
just
need to
spitting
do,
facts.
what they need to
It's-
do is just leak the source code online so we can get a recompiled versions, just like we did get Sonic Unleashed recompiled.
that
Yeah,
segue, I hate it.
yes, yes. Sonic Unleashed, an Xbox 360 slash PS3 game, has been recompiled, which means there is a, well, not official, but technically official PC port. This was done last night. At least it was posted last night. And man, people have been playing it, and it is amazing what they've done. They've basically, the way it works is you have to have the 360 like ROM or ISO,
ISO.
and
Yep.
what you do is you kind of use this I don't know what you want to call it. What would you call the recompiled, like, would you call it a program, right? Like the little thing you have to, is a launcher, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, so the recompiler is essentially rebuilding the game based off the resources that comes from the ISO itself. So if, let's just say this, the team will be in huge trouble if they provided the resources from the Xbox 360 ISO, because that's straight up copyright infringement. So within their tutorials, they're like, hey, listen, if you want to play this on PC, make sure you grab your own 360 copy ISO, rip it off of your hack 360 or some random DVD-ROM that can do that, and you use that ISO to essentially recompile that with to make that PC port, if that makes sense. It's like the same thing back when they finally released the Ocarina of Time recompiler and stuff, because what you needed was the Ocarina of Time ROM, and you would use that to build the PC port per se. And it's great. I love that this is coming to fruition. Heck, I already seen people running this off the Steam Deck at 1080p, 60 FPS. Looks amazing. It's just, man, we had to get to this point to actually get it onto PC compared to Sega. Like, I mean, like, listen. Like, I don't know what Sega's been doing these past few years, because they could have all this time released a official PC port for Sonic Unleashed. Now what they have to worry about these days is to compete. Is when they actually do release a PC port for Unleashed, they have to compete with the recompiled version of Sonic Unleashed, which, mind you, they already got the source code, and they can essentially do whatever mod they want with that particular version. Meanwhile, with the PC port, they're going to be more limited on what they can do with that version itself. And not to mention, like earlier when I said, hey, you need your own Xbox 360 ISO, you think people are going to go out and try to rip the game? No, they're going to try to find a XYZ website to find that, and piracy is going to increase for that. So now Sega's losing money on every avenue, straight up, and it's on them. It's their fault. And they already recently released a PC port where Sonic Colors Ultimate, which Granted, at the beginning, it didn't look so great, but after a couple of mods by a couple of fans, now the game looks amazing on PC. You can run it with no problems. I wonder why they're sitting on Sonic Unleashed and didn't bother to like at least remaster for like the PS5 and Xbox Series X or something like that. It's crazy to me. Like, yeah, I'm excited. Don't get me wrong. It's just Sega definitely dropped the ball with this one. If they ever decide to release a PC port, there's going to be a lot of money losing from here, because I mean, at this point, when it comes to like features for with like a recompile versions versus the PC port, it's just a 9-day difference at that point.
Yeah.
So it's just, I'm happy, but I'm also disappointed in Sega. It's just, they could have done something way before, because the only reason why this happened, because they've been doing nothing with it. So we have to do something about it. You know?
I mean,
So.
yeah, I think like Sonic Unleashed has been wanted for fans on PC for the longest. The original Sonic Generations, there was somebody who had a mod that kind of put in all the daytime levels in Sonic Generations from Sonic Unleashed, because people wanted to play Sonic Unleashed. Sonic Unleashed is a good game. Like, it was hated back then because the Werehog levels are not that great, which I don't know. I'm like in between. Like, some of them are okay. I think they just drag on a little bit too long. And the combat's decent. I mean, it's just an action like combat there. But like the overall game and like the music especially is amazing. But the game is very fun. Like, I really enjoyed the game. I played it on Wii. That's the way I played it. And the Wii version is different from the 360/PS3 version, because they have more levels. The other thing is they have, when you're on the main hub, you can actually walk around. And on the Wii version, you couldn't. There's like a static map, and you just like click on different places to go to. And that's how you will progress. And then, like I said, there was less levels. Some levels are completely gone, and it just jumps to like a different part. Playing the 360 version, because I did buy it when I had my Xbox Series X. I did buy it there because they did update it and added 60 FPS to it and made it 4K. Playing that version, you will notice that there's a lot of stuff they added. But the cool thing about this recompile port, this PC port, is that they added, of course, upscale, so you can upscale the resolution to whatever percentage. I think it maxes out like at 200 or 300% to 1080p. You can your frame rate, I guess it's uncapped frame rate, because the video I was watching showed it just says max. Like, that's the max it can go to. It can go to max. So I assume it's whatever refresh rate your monitor is. That's the max. But of course, you can set it at 60, 120, 144, 165, whatever your refresh rate is, which is pretty awesome. It's a Sonic game, so the higher the frame rate, the cooler it'll look. You can change like the blur intensity effect, which is nice. When you do your speed boost, it blurs out like everything, and you can make it even more intense if you wanted to. And there's a bunch of other different settings you can mess with in the game, which is pretty awesome. Like, there's a lot of stuff they got going on with it. I'm excited to dive into it. I have all the files set. There's a GitHub you can go to for the recompiler. I accidentally closed it out because I was going to mention it on this stream, but I would highly recommend for sure giving it a try. Has anybody here played Sonic Unleashed except for me? Or anybody else?
I played it both on the 360 and PS3, but never on the Wii though. But
yeah, the Wii's a little bit different version. I would download I would put the Wii version on the Steam Deck. I would put it on the Steam Deck and play it.
Oh yeah, I'll give it a shot.
It's different enough, I would say, that it's worth, because the levels are different. The level layouts are different, even though they're the same levels. The layouts for both the day and the nighttime are different, which is nice.
I would say that I definitely enjoyed a lot of my time with Sonic Unleashed. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like they should have did better when it came to how you explore the levels as Sonic the Werehog, because I feel like when playing as him, he feels a lot more sluggish.
Yeah.
For the most part, when you get into combat, it's a lot of fun. And the thing is, he has a crap ton of combos you can just whip out of, like, as you play more of them. It's just, The only thing I wish is that if they should have took advantage of his stretching abilities, make him like similar to Luffy in a way where he can just like literally stretch his arms and just like swing himself throughout the city or something like that. I think that would be a lot more fun. Or if they can't do that, they should have something to like similar to Sly Cooper. If any of you guys have played Sly Cooper before, where when you're playing as a gentleman thief, you're practically just going from one building to building. You're on ropes, traversing across and everything. I wish there was something more to his parkour abilities and with the warehouse side.
Yeah.
Other than that, I feel like the game was overall amazing. The CGI was all. I feel like the CGI to me was like the best in Sonic Unleashed for some odd reason, but
the voice acting too. Like I in my opinion, like no offense to any of the other Sonic voice actors, like Roger Craig Smith or I forget what the first Sonic guy's name was. Sonic
Ryan
Adventure,
Drummond.
I mean.
Jaleel White.
Ryan Drummond. Well, Jaleel White too. I like his. He's special.
Oh yeah, for Sonic Underground, of course.
Yeah.
Who's not going to forget about Jaleel White?
Yeah.
The guy from Steve Urkel.
Yeah.
Family Matters.
What's his name?
Ben Schwartz.
No, not Ben Schwartz. I can't remember his name. He basically he did Sonic Unleashed. He did the Sonic X anime. And like
all right. Let me think. Yeah,
Jason
I know
Griffith.
Jason
Jr.?
Griffith. Yeah.
Yeah, Jason.
I think
Griffith.
it's Jason Griffith. Yeah.
I like his like Sonic, like just his "Here We Go," the way he sounds when you start the line or the stage. It's just like it sits in my head. Like I just say that all the time. But yeah, I think he does a great job as Sonic there and moving his voice from Werehog Sonic to Sonic, and also he does Shadow's voice in Sonic X. So like he has a pretty big range, because when you hear Shadow, it sounds very similar to the OG Shadow, but it's not. He was doing both Sonic and Shadow, which is kind of cool. Pretty good range, and it's kind of sad that I think his last game was, I think Sonic Colors, if I remember correctly.
I think it could have been Sonic Freeriders.
Was it Freeride? Let me see.
I think that game came out after Sonic Colors.
Let's see, Jason Griffith. We're gonna find out what his last Sonic game was.
Honestly, I'm more of a Ryan Drummond guy. I mean, I love all actors, of course. Because they have their own different styles and how you're supposed to voice Sonic. But I feel like I more dig Ryan Drummond's style on how he portrays Sonic the best, if anything. You know?
Yeah. Let's see. He did Black Knight.
Yeah, Black Knight. He did, I think Ryan Drummond did not Ryan Drummond. Jason Griffith did a good amount of Sonic games with Sonic. Literally,
oh,
it's a good amount.
He's in Wulong Fallen Dynasty. Interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know that. It says the last Sonic game he did was Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing with Banjo-Kazooie.
Fair. Yeah, fair. Oh, damn, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Black Knight was the last game, so he didn't do Colors. I thought he did for some reason.
Oh yeah, that was
Smith. Yeah,
that was Roger. That was Roger.
Yeah, so that was the last one. Yeah, he's my favorite Sonic.
Yeah, it confuses me on why they like to switch up Sonic voices for the most part. I mean, like, don't try to fix that's not even broken. I guess I don't know, but
yeah, like it's like back noise. Like if it's I don't know if it's like shooting or something, or I don't know. It sounds like something's in the background.
I think it's fan. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, no, I was saying like fan. It sounded like almost like it was Call of Duty or something like in the background. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, it's. I mean, overall, Sonic Unleashed is a really, really good game. This is literally the first 3D Sonic game that introduced a boost mechanic. People keep forgetting that the very first Sonic game that actually introduced the boost mechanic was actually Sonic Rush. People need to play Sonic Rush. Extremely good game. I feel like I think that's
the boss theme. Is it Sonic Rush or is it the other one?
What? Which one?
The
Wrapped in Black?
Yeah.
Oh, Too Black. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Black.
That's bro. Yeah, it's the same. It's literally done by the same composer that did Jet Set Radio. If you guys are a fan of Jet Set Radio, Sonic Rush is right there, bro.
That thing's amazing.
Yeah, it's really, really good stuff, and I think that's also the game that that show was Blaze's second appearance, I believe. Her first appearance, I think, was back in 06. And in her second appearance, she came back in Rush, I believe so. But yeah, fun stuff.
Has anybody here played Sonic Rush except for Ash? 'Cause I've never played it. I just know
Yeah,
the
I've played it.
soundtrack. You played it? Did you like
Very
it?
good.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
How about isn't there a Rush 2, right?
Yeah.
Is there?
It's called Sonic Rush Adventures, I believe. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
And I
Gotta
think
play
that
those.
one in particular first showcased that one character. I forgot her name. I think she's something the Badger, and then they try to reuse her again in the future Sonic stuff, like Sonic Boom, the TV show. I forgot her name. Yeah, they barely use her these days, but yeah, that game is also fun as well. I liked it, but not as much as Sonic Rush. Sonic Rush just did it for me. I love it, you know. But
Dix the
yeah.
Badger.
Yes, the Badger. That's what I thought.
I've never seen that character. You said, but they're in Sonic Boom.
Yeah. Oh, what's the character's name again, Brian?
It's Styx.
Sticks the Badger.
Sticks the Badger. Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
she kind of reminds right? I assume, yeah, she kind of
Yeah,
reminds
so
me
she-
of the girl character from the mature Sonic the Hedgehog show from the 90s.
Yeah,
Princess Sally. Is
Yeah.
that her name?
Sally. Yeah,
the
Sally
one with the
Acorn.
metal
Sally
arm?
Acorn.
You talking about the one with the metal arm?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was a good cartoon. I liked it because of the grandpa being like a metal Sonic.
Yep.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
was kind of
Mhm.
interesting.
That was a
pretty dark.
gnarly show.
Yeah.
Because there was the kids version with like Sonic and the Chili Dogs and the
Yeah.
comedy and everything, and then you have the adult one on. Yeah, that was cool.
It was
Sonic
fun.
has a lot
It
of
was
good things. Like a lot of people, funny enough, like a lot of people don't like Sonic because they just see it like as a wannabe like Mario and stuff. But like Sonic has, they're all not every Sonic game has the quality of Mario, right? And I would probably, if I had to choose one, I would probably always pick a Mario game over Sonic. But that being said, Sonic has a lot of good games. Like Sonic, all three Sonic the Hedgehog games are really good. I love them all. Pretty much the same. Like I can't really pick one over the other because they're really really good. But the DS games, like you mentioned, are really good. The Sonic Advance games are fun. I enjoyed those.
those are really fun games. Yeah.
Great modern take on Sonic the Hedgehog, basically. And then Sonic Adventure 1, amazing. I think Sonic Adventure 2, amazing. Sonic Unleashed is really good. Sonic Generation is really good. Yeah, I mean, except for Sonic Forces, I would say like Sonic's games are not that bad. Or in the Black Knight and was the Secret of the Seven Rings? Those two suck. But
What about the RPG, the BioWare one?
I've never played it. We did a thing on that where I mentioned that.
Dark. Is it called Sonic Dark Chronicles?
Yeah, Dark Brotherhood. Yeah,
Dark Brotherhood.
Sonic
Yeah.
Chronicles Dark Brotherhood.
Yeah.
That one, yeah, I've never played it, but I know like Game Informer gave it like a high rating. A lot of people said it was really really good. I do got to play it. It was on my list to go back to and play because my brother played it and I know he liked it. And I've only kind of saw a little bit of the gameplay and that's about it. But he played it and
Yeah.
he really liked it.
That's the one game that like when I was trying to search for like another Sonic game, I keep passing it on the shelf in GameStop. That I will definitely pick it up eventually though, because I did hear a lot of high acclaims for it too, which is unfortunate because like if the game had a good reception, then why not make a sequel?
Maybe because BioWare probably owns rights to it. Maybe I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows?
Collaborations like that are always kind of iffy because it's like, who has the rights to what, and do you have to pay BioWare to bring it import it to like a modern platform? Like who knows? I would like to get that, but yeah, the recompile is called Unleashed Recomp by Hedge Dev, Hedge, and that's -dev. And it's on GitHub. So if you just put it, I mean, if you type in probably like Sonic Unleashed Recompile or Unleashed Recomp, it should probably pop up there. And then, yeah, you can download it. And then, of course, like we mentioned earlier, you need the ISO and you're good to go. A quick note to mention, they did say that you do need the ISO has to have the update and the DLC. If you don't have the update and DLC in that ISO, then apparently when you get to Jungle Joyride Act 1, it'll crash. They're working on a fix. It's on their GitHub, so when you go to download the recomp, it'll say they're working on a fix. But you do have to go ahead and get that. But there is a way to get it. You can just search it, Google it. It's available. I have
It's
it.
somewhere.
Use
It's
your
somewhere.
internet skills. Use your
Yes.
Yeah,
Use your Detective Pikachu skills.
use your
And-
use your refined research.
But there
You learned in
is
middle school.
there is a way to get it, and we'll leave you with that. I will be playing it, and I'll give my thoughts next week, which I know my thoughts are going to be like it's amazing because Sonic Unleashed, in my opinion, is an amazing game, really really good. And it sucks that Sega didn't do that because I would have thrown money if Sega announced a Sonic Unleashed HD or remaster, or whatever the case might be. I would definitely.
You and 6 other people.
No, I'm sure a lot more people would.
Oh,
It's a
a
good
lot.
No,
game.
I'm
Yeah,
just
a lot.
kidding.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
just
just
saying they are losing a crap ton of money.
The
ever since
soundtrack
this
in
release.
Sonic Unleashed is a 10 out of 10. All I gotta say is like, I mean,
Oh,
Sonic games are
yes.
a lot of the times Sonic games are 10 out of 10 soundtracks, but this one in particular has such a good vibe. Just the first area, Green, or not Green Hill. What is it called? What is the first?
Don't forget
Mill.
it.
Yeah, Windy,
Yeah.
yeah, Windy Mill, whatever. Zone.
Yeah. It's been a while, so it's all good.
Such a
Same for me.
good song. Very.
There's a lot more decompiled games than I thought there was.
Is there?
Oh yeah, especially
Yeah.
in 64 side. Don't get me
Yeah, I
started.
know
on that.
there's
I would think-
Mario. There's Mario, Ocarina of Time, Majora's
they
Mask,
even-
technically.
Yeah, they have a playable version already from the same guy that did Ship of Arcadia. So
Yeah.
he decompiled
Bro,
that.
bro, I
But
want
there's
to.
Star Fox 64 is on
Oh
there.
yeah, I forgot.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
that's-
recent too.
Yeah, that's recent.
Yeah.
That's recent.
Apparently, Metro Prime's and Alpha on a decompile.
I
for
know it's all.
GameCube.
I know we're almost done with Banjo Kazooie, which
Yep.
I'm dying for that one.
There's one for that. There's Legend of Dragoon as well.
Really?
Yeah,
That is. I
Like, I
did
just-
not know that.
yeah. I just googled PC port decompile, and it just pulled up a list of like
Legend of
all these
Dragoon would
games
be
that
pretty
are-
awesome.
it's playable. It's just playable, so they're probably still working on like
Yeah.
all the bugs and stuff on it. But
That's pretty
it's interesting.
I'm just, bro. It's just if the rise of decompiling becomes like popular and stuff, then yeah, there's going to be a lot of problems for certain companies, because at this point, bro, if you're not doing your job, then we're going to be doing stuff like this. Just do your job and get your money. Like, you're a business.
I mean,
you know?
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is like some of these games have certain music in it, right? And some of those can be licensed.
Yeah.
And if those licenses expire, they may not want to pay the money to relicense the music.
That's true.
I mean, if that's the case, then they can just pull a GTA San Andreas where they use different music instead.
Yeah.
or something like
But then
Yeah.
they're gonna have to. But then that goes into them having to like, rebuild the game and
because that was
put
one of
new
the
music.
reasons.
It's not as simple as dropping like, hey, I'm just gonna
Oh,
take
yeah,
one
I
audio
know.
track out, put another one in.
I know it's not that simple, but like at the same time, they're still able to make profits.
That
You
was
know?
one of the reasons
So-
why I thought Xenoblade Chronicles X was in it got get remastered, was because the music by Hiroyuki
Sawano?
Sawano. Yeah,
Yeah.
like because he's a big name, and it's like they use that for this game that's pretty huge, and thinking like what else are they gonna do, and then when the not DLC but like the extra like story stuff that they added, when that was announced, I was like, oh, I wonder if he's gonna come back for that, or if they're gonna do like they did in Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and have like Ace take over and add tracks, which no offense to like Ace, but like their music will not fit in with Xenoblade Chronicles X. Theirs is very like not jazzy, but it's like I don't know. It has like a different vibe. Xenoblade
Yeah.
Chronicles X is just. I mean, Sawano has like his style, and for you to move from Sawano's style, which is like, it has a little bit of rock to like like dance style music. It's like all over the place. To go to
Yeah.
something that's like Ace wouldn't make sense, but glad to see they did announce that he is making all the new music for the new extra area or the extra story bit that they are adding, which is kind of cool. And he's remastered some of the tracks too, which is nice. Sawano's music's amazing. Like, just search him up on like Spotify, Apple Music, and or YouTube. Check out his stuff. Really, really, really good. Really good stuff.
I mean, if anybody's seen Attack on Titan, there you go. You
And,
heard- you heard
and in
all
my
the
opinion, I
music.
think Attack on Titan is not even his best work. I think that's his worst work, in my opinion. He has so much better stuff than the stuff he's done for Attack on Titan. And I'm saying worse as in like like not saying it's bad, right? I'm saying it's his worst work as in like he has stuff that's even better than that, if that makes sense, right? It's
Yeah,
kind of
that
like
makes
saying
sense.
like a bad Mario game. Even a bad Mario game is still pretty good. if that makes sense. I'm not saying that Attack on Titan music's bad. I don't want to get attacked or attacked by Titans here, but like it, he has better
I
music.
mean, yeah, you're gonna be attacked by people that can't take an opinion, maybe, but yeah. But yeah, it is what it is.
All right, moving on to our next bit of small news. That was the start of our small news, and that was pretty big news for me, at least.
And me too.
There is something I did want to talk about. We didn't get to talk about it because we did not do a podcast the week this was announced. I completely forgot about it. But as E3 is kind of coming back in a different form, and that is in the form of an event in Las Vegas called ICON. It's IICON, which stands for the Interactive Innovation Conference. This is based on gaming, and there's already a lot of partners have said that they will show up to this, including Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, Square Enix, Sega, Capcom. And there's a bigger list there, but a lot of people have already said they're going to show up for this, and it will be back next year, 2026, which is very interesting. So it's not in California. This is in Las Vegas, which is where CES
E3
is,
happens.
and yeah, pretty much everything else.
All the big
happens.
stuff.
Yeah. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Because like in my opinion, Summer Game Fest is not doing it for me. Like it's just not the same.
I'm shocked that they're trying to revive something similar to E3 because I thought the whole thing is going to be dead for the most part because all companies realize, hey, we don't have to spend all this money sending people out to a different state and showcasing all the games. We can just do all that under a live stream or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm really shocked that they're willing to do this. If anything, I
think so. In my opinion, that what you said, Ash, like I've always heard people say that, but there was never proof that companies were actually thinking this, right? This was just a hearsay on like the Twitterverse, right, or the Blue Skyverse, or whatever you want to call it. And it makes sense from the business standpoint. You're saving money.
Yeah,
but I do feel
definitely a business standpoint. Yeah, because like if I were running a business, I know I'm sitting on top of something where like everyone's literally anticipating whatever we're going to release, and all I got to do is live stream it. Then yeah, definitely going to do it. So that's why I'm shocked.
Here's why I'm not shocked. Right. It's the trend of how gaming has been going, that they've been doing these virtual streams and stuff like that. And there's been a lot of titles that have come out, but all of them have flopped.
Yeah.
A lot of games have flopped. Right. If they're doing an in-person thing, they can actually get like somewhat alpha, like opinions about early release, things are going on, things that they can kind of pivot early enough in development to where the game's not going to flop. Like there have been a lot of bad games, or a lot of not great games, is more to say.
Yeah, bad games. We'll call it bad.
Because if you look at like you said, there's Warner Brothers on it, Nintendo, Microsoft, Epic, Ubisoft, like Amazon, PlayStation, Square Enix. A lot of these companies, EA, Ubisoft, Warner Brothers, like they haven't had a lot of titles that have been hitting.
Yeah. I agree with that. Like I was gonna say, hey, what's up, Smash Mac? Welcome to the podcast. I've been like in my head, I've been thinking about this, and my opinion is that the hype that we used to get from E3, and not only the hype, the deep dive we would get through E3, we don't get at Summer Game Fest. We get an announcement, and that's it, right? And then you don't see anything about the game until it comes out. Where E3, I'll never forget like watching like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. It got announced. I think it got announced on Xbox, Xbox's showcase, and then later on, like IGN had like a deep dive, and they showed off the game, and it kind of gave us a more in-depth look at what this game was about. But you see people on the floor. CES is a perfect example where you get an announcement from Lenovo, and then next thing you know, you have hands-on people looking at the Lenovo Legion Go, the Go S, and they have this in front of them, and they can speak to it and talk about it and get this out, and it makes it kind of more widespread than just Summer Game Fest, right? Or just a press release or anything like that. It goes further, in my opinion, at least. So I do think something like this is kind of like what Fan says, but not only that, like for collaboration, they do say that they want this also for like companies to collaborate with each other. You what was it was it Star Fox? I think the original Star Fox or Star Fox 64. One of them, I think the original way it started was a collaboration. I think it's Star Fox. It might be something else. I can't remember what game it was. It was a Nintendo game where they approached Miyamoto and they showed him this, and he was like, "Yeah, I think it was Star Fox, right?" Um, I'm almost positive it was Star Fox, and they showed him this like concept, and Miyamoto was like, "All right, let's go ahead with it," and stuff like that. You can't get that without a E3 like presence, in my opinion. It's a difference of like networking, like even for work. Yeah, we can network through like through virtual meetings and stuff like that, but an in-person meeting is totally different. You have a different connection. You get to feel the person in front of you, and it just means a lot more, right? It's kind of like we have this podcast here through Discord, but how much better would the podcast be if we could all be in the same room at the same time?
Like in a studio setting, yeah.
Yeah, it would be a lot better overall, in my opinion. I mean, I feel like it would be. We would have probably a better dynamic, better, things. If somebody says something dumb, we could like flip over their chair or something, tables flipping, all that stuff. Like more fun, right? Who doesn't like?
I think our anger management is pretty good to the point where you're not going to flip any tables. But the thing is right. I don't disagree with anything. I don't disagree with anything that you said when it comes to like how we should be interacting and networking with each other. It's just that the way I'm coming from this is mainly just dollar to dollar business perspective, right? And the thing is that it just, for me, the main reason why I'm shocked about it is mainly because, hey, they may have to shell a lot more money to get everything over to Las Vegas or something like that.
Yeah.
And I prefer none of the stuff to be live stream or something like that. I want to be at the floor, look at the new stuff, have freaking back in the day freaking Reiji Fizime showing off the new thing on with Iwata, Shigeru Miyamoto and stuff.
Mhm.
Everything was just magical. I love that. But unfortunately, it's just that all that stuff just costs money for the most part.
Yeah.
Well,
And
think of it this way: all the marketing money that they're spending could have been applied to this.
Yeah.
For example, how many freaking Wilds
Hunter
games,
Wilds.
Monster Wilds have we seen on showcases?
too much.
Exactly. They
Enough.
actually they have to spend money to the showcase, like the people running the showcase, to promote. Right. That's all marketing money. Instead of doing it all on that, they could have done a show showcasing it in hand with the person in front of them, explaining mechanics, going over the story, how the game was developed, building the hype, and then that's it. You don't have to see it every single freaking time a showcase comes out.
You're telling me.
It's just money that they're already spending. This way, they're just reallocating it in another way.
Spending it better.
That's fair.
More wise. Yeah.
More efficient, to be honest. Like
More
that's
efficient,
just like, I don't want to see the same game over and over again, man. How many times am I going to see this trailer?
I mean, I'm excited for it. I mean, one day we'll all be able to go over there, and then we can see all this in person.
Shoot, I want to.
That's the dream.
Not one day. I'm going over there next year. I'm trying to see if I can get in there. But like, how much? Got it. Come on.
Yeah, I think as of right now, I think. Let me find the website. I think they mentioned that it's only right now for It's not open to the public. It's going to be for people in the industry or like journalists and stuff like that. So
all right.
I think we qualify as journalists, right? We have Random Encounter podcast journalists.
Jeff Keighley, you got me right, Jeff. Thank you. All right, I'm already.
Let me see.
I'm already confirmed to be over there next year.
April 27th to the 30th is when they're going to do this. It's not even in June.
What's Jeff not being invited to that? I wonder. I'm like,
let's see.
I'm thinking about this. Always like, what if Jeff Keel's not invited to the whole event? That'll be fun. I don't know.
I'm trying to see if they say who it is for. Exclusive access.
Honestly, I'm kind of dubious about this.
Yeah. What's your take?
Because I think that Jeff Keighley has kind of become the ambassador of these things. He's
Please
kind
don't
of
say
the main show, the main show guy. What'd you say?
I said, please don't say that.
Oh, well, it's true. Like he's kind of like the the public facing aspect of what gaming presenting is. He's kind of like gaming's Ryan Seacrest, I guess you could say. He's just very out there and just very famous in the gaming world and everything. And I mean, and to be fair, like he is a positive arbiter. He doesn't have a ton of controversy around him. I mean, he's had a couple of little things like with not mentioning like layoffs and that kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
you know, that stuff got tightened up eventually. And overall, I like him. Like, I think he's fine or whatever. But it's just, I think that anything that has provenance with gaming and like a presentation will have to kind of go through him because he's taken the mantle. And I just think this E3 like presentation, as much as I love it, as much as I have nostalgia for it, it's just a bygone era. It's kind of like how magazines used to be in gaming, like where you'd go to Barnes and Noble and there'd be 1,000 gaming magazines just on PlayStation alone or whatever, and you could buy it and just thumb through it and just see all the information. But with the advent of the internet and Twitter and how everything news is just available at the second it gets revealed, that kind of stuff just kind of is old and it's just not really relevant anymore. And so I just kind of wonder how relevant this is going to be. It's kind of like when they tried to resurrect G4 TV and it just totally flopped. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. I hope it succeeds. I hope it's the next big E3. I hope that
Me
they go
too.
back to that format, but I just don't. I don't think so.
I think they're different though. Like G4 as your example, it's different. Like the median that G4 used to be, now you get it through YouTube, right? You all of that's there. You know, plus you have IGN and stuff like that, which also does videos and Nintendo Life and all that. So like we had because G4 there was no outlet, right? E3 it's still a little bit different. Like we have Summer Game Fest, but it's not the same. Summer Game Fest is just one presentation where E3 was multiple presentations. You had a Microsoft section, you had a PlayStation segment, you had Nintendo, you had you had it, well, I guess PC. I think PC was
Ubisoft.
in the same area. Yeah, Ubisoft, EA, and so forth. Like but not only that, there was stuff on the show floor. So you had people go out there and got to see. With Summer Game Fest, it's just that one presentation. That's really it. There is no show floor where you have people, journalists going to these booths like, hey, I'm here at the Nintendo booth. We're looking at, whatever the case might be. We're looking at, I don't know, like
Star Fox Adventures.
yeah, something like that, right? You don't get that. You don't get, we're looking here at Ghost of Yotai live at, the PlayStation's, area or anything like that. Like Summer Game Fest doesn't have that. It's kind of like you see it, it's done, that's it. Call it a day. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like this was a 3-day event that there was stuff happening every day. You were seeing stuff, and after the main presentation there was still a lot more being shown because you had journalists going through and showing off more about what we saw at these presentations. Hopefully that makes sense.
I agree to a certain extent, but I think that just the technology has made those presentations and those ways of experiencing games a little irrelevant. I understand what you're saying, that you go to a booth, you actually play the game and stuff, and I think there is value in that. But the difference between a company like Nintendo or Sony or Microsoft doing a presentation that they create, they direct, they literally create. It's not even it's obviously not a live presentation. It's like a video. It's like a promo video for all intents and purposes. It's all carefully crafted to have the best representation possible of every aspect of every game that they put in it. Whereas with the E3 conferences, you can think of multiple examples of things going off the rails, either presenters being awkward socially. Remember that coffee guy? I think he was what was he, Ubisoft? I don't remember. There's a coffee
Ubisoft,
or Konami. Yeah. Then there's like the thing with Sony announcing that the Vita was going to use AT&T internet and the crowd like booing or groaning or whatever. And then you have
that was funny. That was funny.
Yeah, I know, but like companies don't want that wild card. They want something very controlled, PR ready to go. And I think that how things are now, it's kind of similar to email, right? If you want to send a message to somebody, you just type up an email, type up a text, type up a DM through a Discord-esque thing. You send it off to them. It's all perfectly done the way you want it to go, and it's very fluid and it's very minimalist. Whereas I think the equivalent of a presentation like an E3 is kind of like sending a letter through the mail. It's like you got to go to the post office. You got to turn your car on. Got to have the gas. Got to put the postage on the envelope. Got to go to the post office. Got to stand in line. Got to send it. Hope it doesn't get lost. Hope it reaches the destination in time. Hope it reaches the destination at all. Do you need signature? Do you need insurance? There's just a lot more to it, and I just think because of the way our technology is now, it's just kind of it's unnecessary.
So I will tell you this. I'm gonna use that same analogy you did. Email is
Okay.
great for certain things, but you can't email. Like, for example, technically, I can't email this physical copy to you, right? I still have to go to the post office. I still have to do that for you to
Well,
get
digital codes.
this. Well,
Reviewers
I'm
get
saying
digital
physical
codes.
copy, not digital, like
Well,
physical.
who cares about physical?
Well,
I
even
do.
even then, like even if you
I'm
can
trolling. I'm trolling a
email,
little
you
bit.
you have to
Ouch.
wait.
That
You have to
hurts.
wait for
I'm
the other
trolling.
person to get the email, read the email, send a reply. Sometimes
Well,
they don't
I'm
even get that, and they'll just
Still
ignore
a
it.
lot less steps than the mail.
yeah,
And then
like
you gotta wait for somebody to send it back to you, go through
there's
postage
that
again, and
too.
all
But
the rest.
I'm talking about, like, in terms of delivery, right? Like, email is great for certain content, right? Like if it's something just word based, yeah, that makes sense, right? But
Well,
like
it's good for
if I
like
want to go ahead and
just
say, like,
sending
hey,
a
Brian,
memo.
here, I'm gonna send you my Retroid Pocket Mini, right? I can't email that to you, right? I can email a picture of this to you, but that's about it, right? And you can kind of see that. But for you to actually have this, I have to send it to you physically. And I think like something like this icons or like E3, that was what that was. It's Summer Game Fest is like that email. You see this display, you see this game, right? This presentation of this game. But then E3 was like that physical thing. Like, yes, you saw the presentation of the game, but now you have people on the floor experiencing this game, and then they're able to tell you about that game because they're able to play it in person. They didn't only see a demo in a presentation. Does that make sense? Does that make better sense?
I,
What I'm trying to
I
get
I
at?
understand what you're saying, and I think it really kind of comes down to a philosophical understanding of what goes into how you evaluate something and how you experience it.
Yeah,
Because if you what's that thing you held up, the
the
Neo, what's
Retroid
it called,
Pocket,
the
yeah,
Retroid
Retroid Pocket
Pocket,
Mini. Yeah.
the Retroid Pocket Mini. So I can watch videos on YouTube of gameplay of people playing on it. I
Mhm.
can see people review it, all the rest. However, you're right in the sense that I won't be able to feel like the
Mhm.
ergonomics in my hands. I won't be able to feel how the joystick feels, how the D-pad feels. Is it what
Mhm.
I like in a controller or a
Yeah.
gaming PC or a handled PC? So I think that when it comes to hardware and stuff like that,
Mhm.
maybe there is a relevancy to a presentation like that. But I think
Mhm.
for software and games, I think you can convey 95% of what you want to show and what's relevant, and the other 5% customer maybe can just experience either sometimes with those demos that get released, like either a beta or
Mhm.
one of those things that Nintendo used to do with like Bravely Default, where they release that first couple hours and then your progress comes over.
Yeah.
And I just think that I think there are some cases where you're right. I think that being able to have something in your hand does carry some weight, but I
Mhm.
think the way the industry is moving, it's just very fast, fast, fast. The
Yeah.
most baseline
Mhm.
understanding to as many people as possible. And like I said, I hope that it does succeed. I hope that it does bring a whole new era of presentations. It's kind of like, how those like escape rooms are really big, and seeing anime movies in theaters and how they bring back Star Wars to like movie theaters because people want to experience it in the big screen. And it's kind of when they do that, it's kind of a big deal. People go and they pay to go see it in theaters, right?
Mhm.
So I think that there might be some comparisons there where people want to be part of this big production and they want to experience something. Um, it's just we have to kind of wait and see at what the cost is going to be and if it's really going to stick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
guess yeah, it is one of those things we will have to wait and see. I guess the return on investment, like if companies are gonna see that. I'm excited for it. We'll wait and see how this shows up. It is springtime, so I guess technically it doesn't interfere with Summer Game Fest, anyways. Um, but yeah, we'll wait and see. I hope it takes off. Um, yeah, I just hope it does. I would like to see that, but we'll wait and see how the companies respond after this, because showing that Nintendo and everybody's on board for at least the first go around, have some hope, but we'll see how that goes right after. Let's move along with WB. WB closed Monolith Studios, and they also canceled Wonder Woman. I mean, Warner Brothers in general, they're just a mess. Not only in the gaming world, but like everywhere. I feel like they don't know what they're doing. I'm not exactly sure. Like, I honestly don't think they know what they're doing, especially in the gaming aspect, because like they have a lot of great IP that they can go with. Like this, for example, Monolith. They're the creators of the Nemesis system, which was used in Shadows of Mordor and what was the other one? Shadows of War. Or is it Shadows of War? No, Shadows of
Yeah.
Mordor
Shadows of War.
it is Shadows of
yeah,
War.
Shadows of Mordor and
Yeah.
Shadows of War. Yeah.
Okay.
The Shadows of Mordor is the first, and Shadows of War is the sequel.
Okay, yeah. So like they were the creator of the Nemesis system, and WB owns the rights to the Nemesis system, meaning nobody else will be able to use that system. The closest we got to a system like that is in Assassin's Creed, in Odyssey and Valhalla. They had the system where you had these people hunting you down, and they will go through different like towns that you've been through looking for you, which is crazy. And then when they get close to you, they will run up to you and start attacking you, which is pretty neat. But it still wasn't the same as the Nemesis system. The Nemesis system was just great. They remembered everything you did to them, and they will come back for revenge, which was kind of cool. But yeah, like I don't know, like WB, they're just a mess. They're a mess, honestly. You know, they bombed with Suicide Squad, which they took forever. And then, man, there was just
Gotham Knights bombed.
Yeah, Gotham Knights was another one that bombed. I don't know what's up with them, man. And outside of gaming, I just feel like WB themselves, they don't know what to do. Yeah, James Gunn took over the DC universe, but cinematic universe. But I don't know if that's gonna go anywhere, honestly, because
their only hit was probably Hogwarts Legacy. That's the only hit.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot that was WB. Hogwarts Legacy is their only hit. Surprisingly, that was the number one game I think that year it came out, which to me that surprised me, honestly. Like it being that like popular, I didn't think it was going to be that popular. It also
What
Call
game?
of Duty, Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh,
And,
Hogwarts
and
Legacy.
I think they're coming
That
out with a
doesn't
sequel
surprise
as
me.
well.
Well, to me, like to outbeat like Call of Duty as like the most like bought game that year, that's a pretty big surprise.
But that game was the first time that you ever got that in depth in that world. And in Harry Potter is still incredibly popular. Call of Duty. It's very popular and it's a great first person shooter, but there have been many Call of Duty games before. This is in Hogwarts, you're in class, you're going through the castle. I mean, I bought it. It's really quite special as far as how in depth it goes and everything. And I love that it was as successful as it was, and it's really a bummer that they just don't know how to manage their IP. I mean, though, I think the Wonder Woman game was an absolute mistake to go down that road, just because Wonder Woman 88? Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie was trash, absolute trash. And I really liked the first Wonder Woman movie, but that sequel was awful. And I think that until Wonder Woman redeemed herself with a new movie and they had something else to kind of pump up the IP, I just don't get who's going to be excited about a Wonder Woman game. I feel like it would have fallen on the same trajectory as Suicide Squad, Gotham Knights, and it would have been okay. Now it's Wonder Woman, and that would have been another bomb.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Like, Wonder Woman. To be fair, Wonder Woman, I think, is an IP that you can probably make a game out of that would work more than Superman, right? Like Superman, I feel like it would be hard to make a game. It'll be like, I don't want to say
everything's made out of kryptonite,
but yeah, exactly. You're fighting everything with kryptonite. That's the only way to make the game for Superman. But Wonder Woman, at least she gets beat up or can get
or go through rings.
Yeah, or go through rings, right? But yeah, like I agree with you with that. Like I do think that whatever, especially the way WB has been lately, I don't think they would have pulled out a good game out of Wonder Woman.
Superman can get hurt by magic.
Okay,
he can get hurt by magic. So like Shazam and Black Adam can actually kill him.
So we'll have like
that's also why Wonder Woman can beat him, because her abilities are magic.
So we'll have Superman versus the citizens of Hogwarts or something like that. Like
no, just
a collab.
No, that's your next Mortal Kombat crossover.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
That or it could be like Superman. Like you could play an alternate version, like freaking the Red Sun, like Superman Red Sun.
Yeah,
great story. It's where he would land in Russia, where he was raised in Russia.
I would rather have a Young Justice like game, because Young Justice, at least season 1 and 2 were great. I didn't watch season 3 yet.
I feel like they're not taking like a hint from like why the DC animations / comics are doing so well. I feel like they need to get some of that material and literally just adapt it to their live action movies and to their mainly to their games as well. Because I don't know, it's just I don't know who's in. I don't really pay attention to WB, so I don't know who's in charge. But I do know for a fact that
Well, James Gunn is in charge of DC now, the DC universe.
he just now in charge of.
Yeah,
he's now
in charge of. But like the things that he did do with DC was good. Like he did Peacemaker, the TV show on HBO.
Peacemaker and Suicide Squad 2.
Yeah.
I don't think he did the first one. Did he do the first one too?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I actually think he did the first one, didn't he?
Really?
I thought he didn't. Yeah.
I'll look it up.
What's that other guy's name? I forgot. Is his name Zack Snyder?
Yeah,
Zack Snyder. He did the first one.
He did the first Justice League stuff.
Yeah.
And Superman.
Suicide Squad was David
But then what
Ayer.
happened was he got kicked off towards the end, and then Joss Whedon came in and re-edited this whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
the Snyder cut is really good though. Like the Snyder cut that they did.
The Snyder cut is great.
Yeah, apparently Snyder cut is like hella divided for some reason.
I love it. Well, a lot of people don't like it because it's 4x3. Yeah, it's long, and they did it in 4x3, which I thought was cool. So that's just me. I think the Snyder cut was great. Like I watched it and I was like, I prefer the Snyder cut over the original version of that.
Yeah, it's just WB. I feel. I mean, I'm just going to use the typical cop out that most likely is due to greed. They're listening too much from their investors saying on what's trendy, and they're trying to go along with that. They try to apply it to their newer games and other stuff and movies, and obviously that didn't work out well. It's kind
of WB has the issue that like Battlefield has right now, where WB is trying to copy what Marvel does, right? Where it shouldn't be that way. Like at one point, Marvel was trying to copy what DC did with their games, was Batman Arkham Asylum, right, and Arkham City, and how they were doing. And they were trying to make a Spider-Man game that was as good as Batman. And I put the Call of Duty and Battlefield thing, where Battlefield when it was its own thing, it was great. And then they went down this path to want to copy like and go towards the Call of Duty route, and people were like, oh no, like if we wanted that, we just play Call of Duty, and Battlefield just got worse and worse. So eventually, like nobody cares about Battlefield anymore. With the new Battlefield that they announced, they seem to be going back to its roots, which hopefully they do. But I think like WB has that same issue. Like, why give a Suicide Squad, which is a service-based game, where we just want another Batman game? You can give us another Arkham game if you want. It doesn't even have to be Batman. We can play as Nightwing. You can put it in the Batman Beyond world. Like you can put us playing as Green Arrow, like somebody totally different. Like it would be fine. We want to play a game that's similar in scope to the Batman Arkham series, and just Suicide Squad or Gotham Knights is just not it.
Talking about the WB stuff, I did read somewhere that there was supposed to be a Damian Wayne centered game, but it got axed.
Of course it did.
And that would have been the perfect one to do it. Because he's for one more ruthless than Batman. So it could have been like how they're coming out with the Wolverine game for Sony.
They age him up though, because isn't he only like 13 or something like that? Yeah,
but he was raised to be an assassin.
Yeah,
like so he fights with the katana and stuff like that. So they could keep him the same age, but it'd just be like completely brutal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Nightwing would be great too, because it's Nightwing. Who doesn't want to play as Nightwing? Like, and what sucks, Gotham Knights was using the Court of Owls storyline too, and the Court of Owls is such a good storyline, and they ruined it. Like, they ruined the game, because Court of Owls, like you ask anybody, it's probably one of a lot of people's favorite storylines when it comes to Batman, because it's just a good storyline overall. And they use Gotham Knights to tell that story, which sucked. But WB in general, like they have Lord of the Rings, they have Harry Potter, they have the DC universe, they have a lot of things, and they just don't know how to use their IP. Like I don't know, they don't know how to make games anymore.
No, the thing is that they have the right people to do the stuff right. The problem is, I feel, is that they're probably listening too much from their investors on what they should do with their IPs instead of listening to their actual production teams, artists, directors, and stuff on what direction they need to go next, and which it happens. And I'm like, they just need to stop listening to the investors and convince the investors, hey, listen, this the actual people know how to tell a story. Let's go along with them so that way both you and I can make some money. Like that's what you need to do next.
Yeah.
That's my theory. I don't really follow them too much, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was, because like when I'm looking at like clips from the newer games that came out, like, you know, Suicide Squad, Gotham Knights and stuff, the elements they're adding in there, I know for a fact they wouldn't do that, because like I feel like that was shoehorned by somebody else that doesn't know how to deliver a product straight up.
100%.
So it's just, they just need to just let the artists do their art. That's all they need to do. And that's if you want to make money, of course, which 1,000,000% it will happen. Like, and I say this because I feel like with the DC animation series and stuff, those are amazing. And I feel like the entire production teams have more control on how they want to deliver these series to their audiences and stuff. Same goes for DC Comics. DC Comics are also great too. Yeah. But like when it comes to interacting with Warner Bros, they're more restricted because they want, hey, this is like today's thing. This is trendy. We gotta shoehorn this into like a DC IP and see what happens, or shove this into a freaking Wonder Woman IP and see what happens and stuff. And like they're just mismanaging in how to deliver something, and they just need to go back to the drawing board, be like, okay, what are we doing wrong, guys? Is there something that we're telling you that you feel like, yeah, we shouldn't be doing this in future releases or something? Like, they just need to actually start opening their ears and just, you know, start listening and applying, you know?
Just,
dude, I'm afraid DC's gonna come out with a freaking version of Rivals, like Marvel Rivals, but a DC
James
version.
Gunn did comment, said that he would love to have a DC version of Marvel Rivals.
Get NetEase to do it. That'd be cool.
That'd be crazy.
I mean, they have
multiverses.
They have multiverses, which is like their version of Smash.
Yeah, and that's gone.
It was a fail. Yeah, it's a failure now. Like, the thing is, that could have stuck around like it did, but like when I was looking into multiverses a couple of days ago, apparently the game wasn't available for like how many months or something. Like, I was just confused. I'm like, whoa, okay, that's insane.
So multiverses that came out for a little bit in like a beta, they said, and then they removed it because they wanted to fine tune it, and then it released, I want to say like sometime last year again, because it was gone for like a year, and then it came back again. They relaunched it. And what's crazy is like they took people's money basically twice.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. One thing when it comes to like a Smash Bros type game, like if you're trying to bring down the king, you're not gonna bring down the king. Like, I'm sorry, there's no bringing down Smash Bros. If you can make a game that's similar on a lower budget, like you have
Rise of Ether.
Yeah, like Rise of Ether and stuff like that. You know, something like that can stick around still, but it's not bringing down Smash. They're just a decent alternative to Smash. If you're gonna try to bring a high budget game to bring down Smash, it's not gonna work. PlayStation tried it. Well, I enjoyed PlayStation All Stars, right? I enjoyed it quite a bit. It wasn't a replacement for Smash. It never would replace Smash for me. It's just not the same.
It was a cash grab, in my opinion. I mean, I liked how they also incorporated Big Daddy into the game, but it was just a cash grab it was a cash grab all around. They didn't try to actually, you know, put some heart and soul into it to try to make it somehow compete with Smash, because they were thinking, hey, like, since they plot their characters onto one game, we should do the same thing too. And
Smash is more than just that.
Yeah, and then meanwhile we got a game with we had a unique IP that plays similar to Smash called Rise of Ether, where it's still around because they're doing their own thing. They're busy adding new characters into the game, refining, you know, the frame data and everything, and the game is still around. It's it was way longer than Multiverses, of course, which, by the way, is funded by. Wait, how much is a WB worth these days? I don't freaking know. They're worth more than the indie developer that did Rise of Ether, and guess is still out on top. Still them. You know, it's just you just gotta let these people cook, man. Stop putting money into the equation. Just let them cook. That's all I care.
Yeah,
you know.
What I like to say is, you know,
or bake exactly.
Business guys,
honestly.
let the nerds do their thing. They know what nerds want. Let the nerds
Exactly.
take care of nerds. We don't need business people trying to tell us what we need because they don't.
Yeah. They only know all they want know as all they do know how to do is make money, and that's mainly a big problem because all they know is money. They don't know the culture, so that's the problem.
All right, we're gonna go through and do these two really quick. AMD, in my opinion, they impressed me with the 9070 XT with the price point and everything they showed. At least on paper, like what they showed up with, I think was pretty good. At least what they showed, and if that's really how it's gonna perform, then I think the 9070 XT is the card I'm gonna get. As of right now, it's definitely that's what I'm getting for sure because I liked what I saw. The price point is good. $600 for the XT model, $550 for the non XT is kind of dumb. It should have been like maybe $499 or something like that, but whatever. There are some like people posting on Twitter, which I don't believe them, saying that they have tested the card and the card is worse than what they're expecting. Like it's worse than the 7900 GRE, the GRE or any of those. I don't know if that's true because according to them, it's a 43% increase, and they're saying that it's not. So, and I don't know who these accounts are. One of them is just one of the accounts' name is just AMD sucks. So I definitely don't believe that account. You know, so I'm not gonna
pure
take
pure hatred. They just keep blowing off the NVIDIA. Jesus.
Yeah, so like I'm not gonna believe that account. We'll have to wait and see until like the bigger guys like Gamer Nexus, LTT, and all of them actually give us. I think this week because it comes out they come out on the 6th, so I assume either Monday or Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday, the review embargoes go up and we can kind of see the exact performance there. But looking good, looking good. I think this is definitely going to be the card that I'm gonna go to, and yeah, hope for it to be a good card, especially for streaming. Because only reason I went with Nvidia Disco really was because of streaming, because they said Nvidia is just a better card. But according to their slide, it looks like AMD fixed the streaming issue and it should be on par with Nvidia. So we'll have to wait and see.
What
Mhm.
that power, like the most powerful AMD card? What's the NVIDIA equivalent?
So this is the only card. So they're not doing like the high end anymore. But to this card, the 9070 XT, the Nvidia equivalent would be the 5070 Ti. Because they're not going after the 5080 or the 5090 anymore.
I mean, they might.
I don't know.
Like,
If you're
after-
dropping that much money,
Yeah.
I would just buy an NVIDIA card, honestly. Like,
Well, I mean, for $600, right? And this is like what they reviewed. They didn't show frame generation performance, right? According to this,
pure rasterization.
yeah, it's pure rasterization, meaning no frame gen, no FSR. The performance of this will be similar to performance with a 5070 Ti that is using frame gen and DLSS, according to what they were showing there, which is huge. Because the
Which,
5070,
quote me if I'm wrong,
Mhm.
it's like A50, right? The 5070 Ti.
5070 Ti, well, it's supposed to be 750,
Dude,
but
it's supposed-
they're
they're,
like
they're going for
$1,000.
$1,000 right now.
Yeah, they're going
Yeah.
for
750 Ti's go for
$1,000.
$1,000.
So
Well, which that's another thing you need to worry about. Like we can talk about prices all we want for these graphics cards,
Mhm.
but as long as we have these cards available, if we're
Yeah.
getting another paper launch, it's kind of useless to talk about prices at this point.
yeah, that's another thing
Because-
too. I mean, they said
Because
they put in clear big letters, wide availability.
sure,
I assume that means they're gonna have plenty.
Well,
sure.
That and
That's a
AMD
dig.
doesn't really do like what Nvidia does. Like, they don't do like a founder's version, right?
Yeah. Well, they have
They just
yeah, they have
they don't
a-
really do reference cards. They
Yeah.
I mean, they let the manufacturers like do it all. Because if you look at
Yeah.
all the brands that they test, they're not a Nvidia branded or a
Yeah.
AMD branded like
Well, they-
founders editions reference card. It's just like something they grab from XFX or
yeah.
PNY or
Like AMD, they
one of those
do have their
companies.
own cards. Like if you go to AMD's website, you can buy like an AMD card, but it's not for every model. And they did say
Yeah.
that I believe they said the 9070 XT is not going to have an AMD reference card to buy, like a founder's edition card. It's all going to be third party. Which I don't mind. Like XFX is probably the one I would go with because I've used them before and I've never had an issue with them. But yeah, to your comment, Brian, yeah, the thing is like the prices. 5070 Ti is going for $1,000. That's supposed to be a 750 card, and then according to the performance that they were outlining, the raw performance is as good as a card that does that, or it's slightly less. I think they showed it was like maybe like 5%, 5 to 10% weaker than the card that's using DLSS. Or than 57 Ti using DLSS. But when you enable FSR4, it goes beyond that, which is good. Where the 5070 Ti, if it doesn't use FrameGen or DLSS, it's worse than a 4070 Super. So it's like, you might as well buy a 4070 Super and that, because they did a really bad job with the 50 series cards because they relied so much on FrameGen and DLSS for everything.
Which I mean,
Yeah, I'm glad that I go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just hoping that this card can, be like an actual thorn to Nvidia, because it's just, I mean, yeah, of course we're trying to bring down prices on their cards, but first of all, it was a paper launch, literally. Like only like the 1% was able to get a card, and that 1% was literally the same scalpers that scalped the previous series and the series before that.
And if you got a card, it burned up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about miners too. I forgot about that. But like,
well, I'm not saying miners, like the power.
Oh yeah, that defect.
Yeah.
That defect. Yeah, I forgot about that. But it's just, I'm really hoping AMD just doesn't mess this up, because the thing is, they're doing so well with their Ryzen CPUs. I just want them to, like fine tune on how they deliver the cards versus Nvidia now, because it's like they're getting everything right so far. I mean, Intel tried, but if anything, Intel's really just aiming for like the bottom dollar, like the budget cards and stuff. So I'm not faulting Intel for anything. It's just for AMD, I just really want them to just really nail that mid-entry market.
Even
if they
for
can
Intel,
do that,
the B550 that they released, you can't even find them, and when you do find them, they're like $500 for the card.
Yeah. So, like I said before, I mean, like I said, we can talk prices all we want, but it wouldn't even matter if all the people that got the cards were literally scalpers. So, and I hope you get your card, James, if you're fast enough.
That'd be nice, because then I could stream something like Monster Hunter Wilds or something. That'd be nice. Play 16 again. Stream 16 again. I would like to finish that on PC.
I was going to say before that I'm just very glad that I have my 4090. Like, I feel like I was really fortunate to plant my flag with that series, because it performs incredibly well, and just everything I'm reading about the 5000 series just makes me glad that I didn't. Like, oh, it's better, I'm gonna get the better car, I'm gonna sell my 4090 and get this 5090 or whatever, and it's for 2000. I sell my graphics card for, who knows, between maybe 12 to 1500, somewhere in that ballpark, and then you buy a 5090 and it's just like really not that much better, and in some ways, because of the production issues, worse. Like, things are melting, components are missing and stuff. So I'm glad that I have my 4090. But with that being said, as far as like the upgrade cycle or whatever, like you're saying that you want to buy this cheaper card and go on your way, it's just, I guess it just kind of comes down to a philosophical difference, where when it comes to me, I'd rather bite and pay a little bit more and know that I'm going to have something for a while, as opposed to pay a little less up front and then have to upgrade in a couple years anyways. So I just know you've gone without for a long time, that I kind of feel bad that you're going to kind of go to the mid-range again for all the gaming that you do and stuff. I feel like you, of all people, would be deserving of a nice card, like a really, really nice card.
Yeah, I mean, the 9070 XT will do that for him.
The problem is, like, if he wants to spend more money, like $1,000, $1,200, he's gonna get the same performance spending it on a 9070 XT for only $600.
Or just waiting for them to become more available, though. And those NVIDIA cards will become more available at some point.
Well, I mean, for me to jump up, right, it would have to be a 5080 card, but those are even higher, right? Because the 9070 XT would be the 5070 Ti equivalent. I would have to go to a 5080. I mean, we'll see how it goes from there. I'm gonna buy it, and there's always return policy, right? If it doesn't work out, then I'll return it and go, back
you'd
to
have to
NVIDIA.
spend double.
Yeah,
like more than double to get a 5080.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that, or I'll have to find like a 4080 or something like that, like an older series, because the way it's looking at, I'm probably better off going with a 40 series card if the 9070 XT is not what they're saying it is on paper. So that's another thing we'll have to wait and see, because if it performs the way they're saying on paper, then I think this will definitely get the job done for everything and then some. With what it has,
I do like the idea of having an AMD processor paired with an AMD GPU. Like that's cool.
Yeah, you'll have that. I
Like
mean,
the idea
there's
of
some
that.
benefits too. There's something you get for having both. I forget what it is. But
It's
you
the
do
same
get
thing as it's the memory rescaler thingy.
yeah,
The
uh,
the
resizable bar.
yeah, resizable bar.
But you get
I
that with
think
any GPU because I could
they
use that. I use it with
no
NVIDIA
they
as
have
well.
like their own version of that
Oh,
for the
okay.
GPUs with the it's like their
Ah,
version of that. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's something similar to that.
okay, gotcha. Yeah, so we'll wait and see. 9070 XT launches March 6th, so very soon, very soon. For the Pokemon Presents, let's just give our quick thoughts, because it is late here.
Smart access memory, that's what it's called.
Yeah. Mhm.
Forgot about that. Yeah. So yeah, Pokemon Presents. A lot of mobile
Meh.
stuff, right? It was kind of meh when it came to that, but let's skip all of that. They did announce Pokemon Champions, which I think is pretty cool. Pokemon Champions looks to be like the modern version of Pokemon Stadium, where it's just the battling, and you can pull from different Pokemon games and from your Pokemon from Pokemon Home into this game, and you can pretty much play anywhere. It's going to be on Nintendo Switch, or they say the Nintendo Switch family of systems, which includes Nintendo Switch 2 and mobile, and basically allows you to access your team on the fly wherever you are and battle other people. This is going to be the main one, and they had a press release saying that this will be for people who want to see traditional Pokemon battle, where you're doing the IV, EV, or the EV training, whatever they call it, and you're doing the competitive battle. This is what this is for. This game, having Pokemon Champions, allows them to explore with different variations of the battle system on their traditional Pokemon game, according to what they had said themselves, which we do see in Pokemon ZA, which they did show off, which has a pretty neat battle system. One, I hate people saying that, oh, it's a copy of Xenoblade Chronicles. Like, Xenoblade Chronicles was not the first type of game to have that battle system. MMOs have done it way before then. I've played games like Final Fantasy 11, which came out way before Xenoblade Chronicles X, and it had a positioning system as well, where you might do more damage from behind. You have a cooldown system where your abilities will have a cooldown. Well, you had a TP system, but similar to that, cooldown systems were done in WoW. So it's like, it's not really copying that. It's just using what was already there and making it more, I guess, unique to Pokemon. What I
I
do
mean, it's
like
just
is,
bringing like the real battle to life, like in the
yeah,
anime, like in the cartoon, how you can you can kind of dodge and
yeah,
like
tell them to
your attack
dodge
can
and stuff.
miss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that I do like. Like, attacks are different. Like, they do say like certain attacks will have like further distance, while others might be more wider range, but they'll have a shorter distance. You can command your Pokemon to dodge, move out of the way if they're going to attack you. If you have the protect ability, which is an ability you do get as in Pokemon, but it has a different way of doing it in turn based. But here, if they're about to attack you, if you press protect, you'll pull up a protect shield, and then it blocks that attack, which is kind of neat. A lot more interactive. I do like that. I wasn't feeling that everything's in Luminous City, but after rewatching the trailer, I was like, okay, I'm feeling it a little bit more. And I do like where it's going. Graphically speaking, it looks better than X and Y, or not X and Y, I'm sorry, Scarlet and Violet. It looks more refined. And, at least from what they show, it doesn't look like there's any slowdown. So hopefully it runs at least at a stable 30 FPS on the Nintendo Switch. But yeah, I think I'm okay with what they showed with Pokemon ZA, Legend CA, and Pokemon Champions. What about you guys?
I just can't believe they didn't do any virtual console stuff at
I
all.
know,
It's
man.
just
They've been
what a
dropping
wasted
balls on that
opportunity.
stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that. But honestly, I haven't like really see too much of the Pokemon Presents.
Mhm.
Let's see, that Pokemon Champions thing. Like, thank you for providing more clarification on that. It
Yeah.
just sounds like they're trying to compete with Pokemon Showdown, which is running off your browser anywhere essentially.
Mhm.
So
Never heard of
it'll be
Pokemon Showdown.
interesting. Yeah, Pokemon Showdown. Yeah, so what it sounds like to me is that like all the stuff you said about Pokemon Champions, it just sounds like Pokemon Showdown, but with great graphics to me. And I haven't even seen Pokemon Champions yet for its trailer and everything, so I'll probably need to look back and just check that out. But Pokemon Showdown has been out for like forever. Like, I don't know how far back we can go. Like, I'm pretty sure the thing's probably like 10 to 12 years old by now. It's that old. So and the fact that Game Freak is finally catching up with that, I'm like, okay, cool, nice. Hopefully this can somewhat compete with Pokemon Showdown, because it's just the thing is that with this you can already easily access that type of deal from like on literally on any device, so you're not locked down to like the Switch or mobile. You can just literally play on anything that you want essentially. And with that, it has a lot more granular stuff when it comes to the competitive aspect and everything. So I'm really hoping Pokemon Champions does well, if anything. Now Pokemon Za, I didn't really see any. I didn't really watch that part of it, but I do know that people are kind of salty about the stars, I guess, because we got Chikorita, Chikorita, Tepig, and who was the third one?
Totodile. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, it was a Totodile.
Yeah,
Yeah, they should have picked a different water one.
Yeah.
They picked 2 stars from the same gym. They should have picked a different water one.
All right, I mean, I looked at it, I was like, okay, cool, there's the stars, but a lot of people were just crapping on Chikorita for no reason. I'm like, damn, okay.
Yeah, people hate on Chikorita. I like Chikorita.
I'm like,
Yeah, I
damn,
like
What a sentence.
I'm like, wow, people are just like out here right now. Like, calm down. They're starters. They're a reason. Like, jeez, but like, but you said that the battle system earlier, James, is going to like play similar to like an MMO, right?
Yeah,
Right?
it's similar to
Kinda.
Xenoblade
Yeah.
Chronicles. Like so when you get into battle, you can move around, and your Pokemon will move around with you. And
Oh,
then
okay, yeah.
you have
okay.
A, B, X, Y are your attacks are mapped. Your 4 attacks are mapped to A, B, and X, Y. Like
Yeah.
one for each. And depending on how you use those moves, you can attack, but you have to time it correctly. So like, if for example, let's say you're dodging, right? So if you roll, your Pokemon will also like dodge. So it might jump out of the way, and then
Yeah.
you press attack after, you might hit them. But if you attack first and then you roll, you're gonna miss the attack. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, I mean, at least they're trying something different with the combat. If it was still went with turn based, that would be completely fine with me.
Mhm.
Just make it look nice like Pokemon Gale of Darkness, and I'll be sold right now. But
I mean,
let's
Legends
see.
Arceus had a really good turn-based combat because you have the strong style and speed style, and I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty awesome because that would change the game.
Did it look better than Gale of Darkness on the GameCube?
Look, yeah, in my opinion, it does. It looks better and it plays better. Because like
Mm,
speed,
okay.
so it's kind of like Final Fantasy X. You can see the attack order on the right. If you use speed
Yeah.
style, you might be able to attack twice. If you use strong style, you might only attack once, and the opponent can attack twice, but you'll do double the damage. And then you had to master your skills. So like, if you have flamethrower, you might not be able to use strong or speed style yet. You have to master it first, which is usually by getting into so many battles and using that ability so many times, and that will allow you to master that skill, and then you can use strong or speed style after.
So
some
playing
things
better, that makes sense. I mean, they need to improve from that. But I'm talking about like when it comes to looking better, when it comes to the animations and impact frames, whenever a Pokemon's using a move or something.
I mean,
Yeah, Arceus is probably the best looking modern Pokemon game,
yeah,
to be honest.
yeah, for sure.
Mm.
I would
Okay.
say.
I mean,
would say
I
that's
think it
better.
looked better than Sword and Shield. It definitely looks way better than Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I can definitely agree. But anything else? Anything else that's in my head, I guess. But yeah, I mean, the only thing I'm possibly hoping, which is probably not going to come to fruition, is they're probably not going to add any voice acting to the game. Which I'm like, man, this add the voice
doesn't
acting,
look like it.
please.
They make enough money where they could make a true next gen, really high production value Pokemon game. They make enough money. This isn't like some indie studio from some random place. Like, this is a top tier property that's just as big as anything else's, and they insist on
We're
just
making
doing
it
this
this
really
guy.
half-assed stuff.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
yeah,
it's
you know,
painful.
and this is me asking bare minimum, like, bro, I want to hear my characters talk. I want to hear my okay. If you don't want to have the NPCs talk, that's fine. But if you're making,
Pikachu, just
if you're having the support characters and main characters talk, at least do that. At least do that or something, like make it more engaging in these days, man. Like, that's all I want, because we're already, I don't know, something. And yeah. I guess that's it for me. So.
What about you, Fan? Any takes on this?
No, I mean,
Outside
I
of what
watched
we
it
said?
when it
Yeah.
was announced, but I'm it's definitely underwhelming. It was an underwhelming presentation just because we were expecting a lot more. I was expecting a lot less Pokemon Go, but somehow that was still there.
Yeah.
But ZA was probably the only was the biggest highlight, I think, because we actually got to see live gameplay and got to see how the battle was. Like that was probably the biggest thing. I mean, if I had to give it a grade, it'd probably be like a C minus, or like maybe a B plus.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. No Nintendo Switch Online stuff makes it an F. I gotta go one down.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
guys, you know what? It is a month from today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nintendo
30 days
Switch
from today
2.
would be
month from today.
the
Switch
Yeah.
2.
Direct.
Switch 2.
We'll be
we're
all over
excited.
that.
Yep. We're all off. We'll all be here that morning.
Yep.
I still haven't took day off yet for that.
Oh, come on, Ash.
Better get on that.
Do it now.
I'll be off anyways, so I'll be okay. Or actually, no, wait, my schedule changed.
No, your schedule changed.
I think my schedule. I'm good. I'm fine.
Okay.
Wait, is it on a Thursday or Friday?
It's on a Wednesday.
It's on a
It's on a
Wednesday.
Why on
Wednesday.
a Wednesday out of all days, man? Jeez.
Well, I think it's because they
Take it
picked the
off.
actual date, so they didn't care what day it was. It's the fact that it's 4/2.
Fan, I remember you
You know.
explained it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
explained it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Damn, man.
Yeah, Wednesday's odd, but they went for the number. That's all.
I mean, they usually
Yeah,
do
yeah.
Wednesday or Thursday Nintendo Directs anyways. It's usually Wednesday or Thursday, so it makes sense.
Yeah, and I can't wait for it. This I'm really concerned for you, James, mainly because of the ergonomics of it. Because it looks like they didn't really increase the size that much when it comes to the back when it comes to the backside at least. So I mean, I don't know. I think it would be a bit better, but not that much better. That makes
I
sense.
mean, I hope so. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I want it to feel good in my hands, but if not, I might have to buy like the Satisfy
Hori
grip,
pads, or
yeah,
Satisfy
or
pads,
something,
yeah.
or yeah, if what-
Hori's
what
gonna
these
come out
people-
with freaking Joy-Cons with.
It's sad they
forgetting
have to.
grips.
yeah, well, like if I have to buy something like this that has like more grip, then I will. I don't
Well,
even-
Satisfy already has a
Can we just-
pre-order for their grips on their website.
Yeah. Well,
Just shout out to Steam Deck, man. That's how you do ergonomics. That's all I gotta say.
I've
Yep,
been.
you can show it,
so-
Dash. Yep.
I
There you
mean,
go.
the
Well, you got
only
even more
problem
stuff
is
on it.
like with the way the Joy-Con is designed, they can't do like an ergonomic grip because the way that it has to be also be played like horizontally too. Like it's just
Yeah.
the way it's shaped would be weird. So they
Yeah, I
unfortunately have
guess.
to make it somewhat symmetrical.
I mean, I could probably play this sideways.
They're Nintendo. They could find a
I
way.
can play this sideways, like.
Oh man,
this way,
play DS, play DS. Let's get it.
See, there we go. See, I can play it sideways. It works.
If they can find a way to get the Joy-Cons to snap on the side, so we can play DS
Bro,
games.
yeah, just let us
Look,
flip
I'll
the
sign
Switch
you up.
this way to play DS. That works perfect. You're right,
Yeah.
100%. See, I can play.
Get stylus. Like, come on, man. I'm ready, bro. Listen, I've been on this this high on like the Switch 2 playing backwards compatible DS games, bro.
Oh.
I'll be all over that.
That'd be
And,
big.
And
and
I
on
did
top
just
of that,
get my new Switch game in.
Oh, nice, Grace's
oh,
F.
there's a Grace's F.
Yep.
My boy. Good stuff.
My favorite Tails game.
So I'll have to load that in.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah.
Well, going back to Pokemon, yeah, ZA, we'll see, and hopefully it's available on Nintendo Switch 2 or some type of like I guess upscaling. Yeah, like to make
I
it
hope so,
run
too.
better. I
Yeah.
really hope Scarlet and Violet I hope the Switch 2 can just upscale all the old games. The Scarlet and Violet needs it bad. Like I was playing
Brute
it
force it.
when I was trying to play Legends Arceus on stream, and I had to reinstall it because of some corruption data. And
Oh
the
yeah, I
little
saw
bit
that when you were
played,
streaming.
yeah, it was bad. The frame rate was so bad. It's like I can't play this game no more. Oh man, like I enjoyed it to where I was at, but I just think I can't. Unfortunately, sad. Anyways, Pokemon Legends ZA. We still don't have a release date. We just know it's coming out sometime this year. So I'm sure
Yeah,
they're probably waiting for the Switch 2 announcement before they actually say anything. I assume fall also. We'll probably get it.
It'd be
a fall
crazy if it was a
release.
launch title.
That would be crazy. A Pokemon as a launch title would be
Oof.
nuts. Like they've never done
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. At all.
That would
be
sell. Hey,
insane.
that would be the system seller we were talking about. There's, I don't think Mario Kart is the system seller. Like even though it sells a lot, right? I don't think it's the day one system seller that like Breath of the Wild was, right?
It's not a reason to buy.
Yeah, because the people who buy consoles day one are usually like the hardcore gamers, And as much as I will
I'm a
buy
hardcore
Mario
gamer. I
Kart
love
day
Mario
one,
Kart.
yeah, well, that's true. But Mario Kart's numbers are that high because it's the non-hardcore gamers are buying that game.
Mm.
But like a lot of the people who, yes, they're gonna enjoy Mario Kart, they're gonna want something else than Mario Kart to buy it. And I think Pokemon could be that game. Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
It
We'll
could.
see.
It depends if they're going to make za only on Switch 2, then yeah, I can definitely see that happening. But like, it sounds
Yeah.
like that za is going to be on Switch and Switch 2. So I'm just hoping when the Switch 2 like thing happens from a month and 3 days from now, I hope they go really in on like, hey, listen, if you play that same Switch title on the Switch 2, here's what it's going to look like. Like, give us constant comparison between the two.
Yeah.
Make it look nice. So that way you're selling us all to the point where, hey, this is a actual really good upgrade. You're getting a bump in resolution, a bump in frame rate. You should definitely get all the new games coming out onto the Switch 2. Right? So
Yeah. Cool. We'll have to wait and see.
yep.
All right, and that is everything we have for today's podcast. Appreciate everybody for joining. Once again, sorry for starting late. It's all Stream Elements' fault. It's not my fault this time. Stream Elements was just giving me issues and went back to ADEM. I would like to go back to Stream Elements because I do want to continue streaming on TikTok. I just think for discoverability, fun fact, because we've been streaming on TikTok, my videos now, like the videos I have on TikTok already, they've been going up in view count since I've been doing that. So I think it is helping the TikTok side of things go up, and hopefully is bringing people to YouTube or Twitch, mainly YouTube, and to take a look at the channel. So yeah. Anyways, appreciate everybody for joining us as always. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Follow over on Twitch and on TikTok. We do have a TikTok channel. I don't post much on there. I have to do like shorts. It's just the way my brain operates. I'm sorry, like my brain does not operate off of like short form videos. I just can't. Like I don't have the creative aspect of shortness, if that makes sense. I don't think that's even a sentence, but whatever. I just can't do short form videos. It's hard for me to do stuff like that. Bryant, where can they catch you at?
At Red So Deep on Blue Sky.
What about you, Fan?
Catch me at Phaneckswhy on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Blue Sky.
What about you, Ash?
You can just look up Asher Story on YouTube, and I think I'm on Blue Sky, but I'm only there just to post new videos and stuff. So that's it.
And as always, you can find me here at the Random Encounter on YouTube and the Random Encounter Podcast on Twitch and Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok. And I don't know, if you just type in the Random Encounter, more than likely it's me. If it has the same logo. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you guys next time.